What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another day in Car Mechanic Simulator with me, the Virtual Mechanic, and today's project, this beautiful Lamborghini Huracán, modded in by Lit. This is a Liberty Walk Edition version of the car with 101,000 kilometers on it, not thousands. I got it from the auction house, way overpaid for it, which is absolutely ludicrous. 102,000. Its actual sale value right now is 81,000, so got a terrible deal on that one. No engine swaps options, just the V10 double overhead cam engine in it, which today we're going to throw loads of performance parts on, make this engine as fast as we can, and push all of the horsepower we can out of the back and into this wheels of this car. So let's get stuck in and let's get over to the car wash, get this thing cleaned up and have a look what it looks like. Here we are at the car wash. Let's get the body cleaned and see what colour this turns out to be. I think it's white, not 100%. Oh, it's a silver, like a bluey silver. That's a nice colour. It's the interior that gave me the opinion of white, just that strip there. But that looks quite nice. Let's get the interior done, get it cleaned, then get it on the lift, and we'll get that engine ripped out, and we'll start working on this, start getting it stripped down. So, being a rear-wheel drive, it means we do have to take the only wheel on this car off. Get you off, get that one drive axle off, because we don't have the other one on there, so that we can get the gearbox out, and we can rip this engine out. So let's crack on. Nice and easy. Now let's have a look. That is an oil pan, so let's grab the oil drain, get that drained out, and then we'll get the engine ripped out. Lovely dirty oil, love it, my favourite. Let's get the oil drain put away, get the crane back on, get the car back on the ground, and get this engine ripped out. Hopefully. Not that that makes any difference. Pull you out, nice and easy. Thank you very much, crane. Get you put away, and let's start stripping the body panels off this car. I'll crack on with this. I'll catch you guys in a couple of moments. All the body panels are ripped off. It is now time to get underneath, especially to get rid of these floating radiators and the intercooler there. But let's jump in and let's check what suspension we've got. Just a double wishbone up and down, front and back by the looks of it. We're missing a, whatever that piece is called, inner tie rod and the outer tie rod. So fair enough. Oh, that's only available from the engine bay. You got to be joking me. Let's get the intercooler off. I'm going to start stripping all of this down, and I'll catch you guys in a few minutes when we'll strip the engine bay and get all of that sorted out. The suspension is completely clear. It is now time to get in and sort this engine bay out. Now, we all know the drill. You do have to drain your fluids, so I'm going to crack on with that. Nice and simple, all of the fluids there drained. I've just got the reservoir at the front to do, sorry. So let's start stripping all of this down and see where we end up. There isn't much, just the reservoirs in there. You got the ABS module. And then when we go down to the front, we will have the two radiators and the windscreen washer and the ECU. So let's get this one drained. And now we just start ripping it all out. Let's get the radiators out. Last thing to go is the glorious fuse box. Wherever you've gone. Where have you gone? There you are. Hiding at the top. Lid off. Loads of fuses inside. So I'm just going to get on with that. And then I'll see you back at the engine when we're going to strip that one down. That's going to be a good one. Nice V10. One completely stripped down Lamborghini Huracán. Lovely. Let's go and sort the engine. First off, did have the battery in. So let's chuck that on charge. And let's get this engine stripped down. Look at this beast of a V10. I'm loving this. Start at the top and we'll work our way in. I'm going to crack on. If I see anything interesting, I'll come back to you guys. Obviously, we are going to be rebuilding this same engine, so if you don't see it now, you probably will see it later. Just wanted to quickly stop and say, look at that exhaust. That must have taken some craftsmanship to get that looking like that and shaped in the way it is. Plus, look at all of them bolts. Let's just get these off, and I'll quickly talk about the double cam rails that we've got in here. It is my least favourite one because it has all of the individual cam caps. Takes forever to get all of these off. Double overhead cams, and we've got some cam gears up here looking quite tasty. And then I think this is a cover, so we should have some chains under here, I believe, but we'll have a double check in a few moments. Here it is then, as I said, a couple of timing chains. I also got to get all of these shoes off before we can take the chains off, and they normally come out left or right. Looks that way. Good shot. Get this off, and this is pretty much the last of the engine now. We've just got the pistons to do. And the drive crankshaft and all of that. So I'll get these all done. I'll meet you back at the car when we weld it and we get that body back on and send it over to the paint shop. Catch you guys in a few moments. Finally have everything stripped on the Huracán, ready to go back together. First of all, we got to sort that frame out, so let's go and grab the welder and get this going. 2,000, pretty pricey. As soon as we've done that, we'll get all the body panels back on. Now, there are a lot of body options for this Huracán. I have left everything pretty much with the Liberty Walk Edition variants. This is the variant of the car we had. The only thing that isn't is the hood, which is the masonry one. You only get the stock or the masonry one. I just like that one a little bit more. And the engine cover, which I've just gone for this paintable one because I want to be able to paint it. Everything else is the Liberty Walk Edition, so I'm going to go on and get all of these back on. Tinted lights, but I'll catch you guys just before we head over to the paint shop. See you in a minute. Everything back together body-wise on the Lamborghini. Even got the interior. I went for the F-type seats just because I like them. And the Mosquito Mark III steering wheel with the flat bit at the bottom. Looks really cool. I like that. The only things that aren't painted are the door, the mirror, and the bonnet or the hood. That's it. Oh, I think... No, that is painted. So, yeah, let's get over to the paint shop and pick a glorious colour for this Lambo. I'm not sure. I'm thinking of like a bright yellow or orange or something along those lines. But we'll find out in a minute, especially when we see what liveries they are. Well, that took a turn. I know I said about a bright yellow or a bright orange, and then I saw this metallic green on it. And I was like, that's the one. That looks incredible. I love that. So good. That's a nice colour, metallic green. And that's why I bought the paintable engine cover, so that that could also be in that metallic green, looking glorious in there. As regards to what we're going to do with the suspension, I'm probably just going to go for that dark chrome that I've done before with a couple of splashes of this green just to make it look awesome. That's what we're going to go with. So let's jump back. Let's get the suspension back on and get ready to get this car finished. Here we are then, nearly ready to get everything back on the Huracán. I've gone for the shocks in the sort of dark chrome colour and the springs in a green. And I think they look great like that. They look so good. And hopefully the colours will match the rest of the car. Obviously same shocks at the back as well, dark chrome and the green. Hopefully the colours will match the rest of the car. I've picked green brake calipers on there, but we all know that they never normally work colour-wise, so we will come back to them. Hopefully this all works out and comes out really well. So let's just get stuck in and have a look where we are, because we have got a few bits on here that are coloured. Obviously none of that is coloured. Now this is in that dark chrome I was telling you about. I kind of wish you could paint the front axle cover on that, because it would look so much better if it was in the same colour. Which is a bit disappointing. I suppose I could have just done them all in the light chrome, but I'm really liking this dark chrome at the moment. I'm using it in quite a lot of builds because it just looks really nice. Shock lights, we've already seen them, so we don't need to talk about that. Just get a few things buttoned up here, and I'll get them brake calipers on because I want to see how they look. Hopefully, it comes out all right. Let's see. It's quite a nice colour green. It is definitely not the same as that green, but let's step away from the car. And actually, with the body, it's not bad at all. So I'm happy with that, and I keep them. Let's, oh, not press that button. Let's get in. Let's get the last bits of this finished off, and let's go and do the rear, because there is a little bit more colour in the rear, because you can colour the rear knuckle housing, which I don't know why you can colour the rear, but you can't colour the front. That just is what it is. But look how much better that looks with it all being in the dark chrome. That looks insane. I'm very happy with how that looks. We've already seen the shocks, and the layout at the back is pretty similar, if not exactly the same as the front. So I'm just going to get all of this finished, and we'll go back and we'll sort out that engine bay next. Obviously, we can't do the wheels until we've done the engine because of the axles that go at the back go right into the gearbox. So we can't do that until it's all finished. So I'll catch you guys in a few moments. All the suspension is finished, and it is looking great in this green and dark chrome, the bits that you can see. Anyway, I've thrown the fuel tank in the chrome green, not chrome green, metallic green, and I've also thrown the intercooler in. You can't paint that one. But let's move on. Let's get the engine bay and hood bay sorted. I don't really know what to describe the two of them as. So let's just jump in here. Parts replacements. I have all of this done. Painted what needs to be, but I haven't picked up my battery yet. Fuse box, I just went for a black. I didn't want to go for anything too over the top on this one. I'll come back and I'll fill them in a minute, especially as I've got to go and get the battery. Coolant reservoirs are just what they are, so let's get them in. And these, I believe, you build them on the engine, so I'm just going to leave them there. If you don't, we'll come back to it later, easy as that, but I believe they are built on the engine in this. I'm not 100% sure, but we will come back to that later. That is the engine bay pretty much sorted, apart from the battery. Now let's go and build that shiny, shiny engine. I'm looking forward to this one. This is going to be a good one because this is a big old engine. So this is in the dark chrome, as pretty much most things are on this car. There is a bit of green colouring here and there. I forgot that you can't put the gear ratio stuff on until you have the oil pan on, which you can't do too much later. So I'm going to crack on. I'll come back to you guys in a few moments. That's one half of the engine done. Obviously, you can see with the dark chrome running all the way around there, looking pretty smart. These are technically also in the dark chrome, but they haven't come out as well, along with the power steering pump in the dark chrome as well. And this lovely intake manifold, which is looking stunning in its dark chrome. I think it looks amazing, especially contrast against that. Now, for me, it's weird. I also did my fuel rails in the chrome rather than I normally would have done them in the green, but I think this has got quite enough green on it. As you can see, you can put the air filter bases on here. I'm going to put them on just to show you what I've done colour-wise, but I'm probably going to take them off and then reassemble them back on the car because they've got this lovely metallic green covering on there. And in the engine bay, the engine cover sits over this part here, so it covers that bit of metallic green. So that looks amazing. I'm going to crack on and get the rest of this all finished off. I'll catch you guys back by the car in a few minutes when it is all done. See you in a second. Engine all finished, looking great. I decided to leave these on because they aren't just floating, they actually feed into the throttles, which goes directly into the intake manifold. It looks amazing. I'm well happy with how this has turned out in the chrome and green. I would also like to talk a little bit about, well, just briefly about this clutch. Very different clutch setup to the normal setup in game. Quite like it. I'm happy it's on there. You can't put this clutch on until you have the oil pan on because it bolts into it, which makes perfect sense. Anyway, let's get this dropped into the car, ready to get this Lamborghini Huracán finished, because next up we can get the wheels done. But let's just have a quick look at how good this looks in here. I'm hoping it looks insane. Can't see it. It's right down there, so it's a bit disappointing you can't see it, but it looks absolutely amazing. I love that engine. Let's just quickly put the engine cover back on and see if we can... let's just move it. No, let's not. Let's just leave it like that. So with the engine cover on, it looks great. I wish the car was just a little bit lower right now, so we'll have to double check it when we get the wheels back on to have a look at how good that colour looks in there. So we'll check that later. I can't close. This boot is really hard to close for some reason. Trunk, whatever you want to call it. Why? Okay, it doesn't want to let me do anything. Never mind, we'll come back to that in a minute. I'll figure out what's wrong. Yes, so next up, I'm going to get the wheels done. I'm going to get the windows tinted, and then we'll crack on and get that exhaust sorted out. Catch you guys in a few moments. The wheels are done. I've just got to get that gearbox in before I can get them ready. So let's just crack on with this. In you go, you dark chrome gearbox. I didn't have to, but I went and made that a little bit darker just because it was a little bit too light on the initial running. But let's get all of this finished, and then I'm going to start dropping the wheels in, and then we'll get this car finished off, because all I need to do after this is top up the liquids, and it is ready to go. So let's just crack on with these rims. I have gone for the rim 06C, as you can see there. 305 width with a 30 profile and a 20-inch wheel with an ET of 60 at the back. So let's get you on. And then at the front, it is obviously the rim 06C still, with the 245 width, a 30 profile, and a 20-inch wheel. That's not right. I've mixed up my tyres there. It's meant to be that one because it's meant to be ET50 at the front. So there you go. Keep an eye on that when you've got two different wheel sizes, front and back. I need to go and swap these two wheels around. This one can go on, so I'm going to go do that, and then I'll get the rest of the wheels on, and we'll get it on the ground and outside because it will be finished. Catch you guys in a couple of moments. Here we are then outside with the finished Lamborghini Huracán, and this thing looks amazing. One of the first things I want to do is check out this engine. Obviously, you've got the engine cover on the top there, and then you've got the filter covers in the green just poking through underneath. With some green bits shining through on this engine bay. I love it. I think it looks absolutely incredible. It is my favourite engine bay design of so far. Well done to Lit for that one. It looks so good. Obviously, you've got the exhaust tailpipes at the end that don't actually connect to the engine. That's the only bad thing about this model. Literally the only bad thing about this model. So well done to Lit for that. Nothing's visible in the hood anyway. The wheels, I love how these have turned out with the green. And that's the ET bringing it out so far that you can't even see the brake calipers in there because you've got these massive wide fender flares on there bringing the wheels so far out that you need that much extra just to get the wheels attached and still be relatively in line with the body. I didn't mess with the wheel sizes at all. I just left them what Lit's original design was, but they look fantastic. All I did was change the rims and change the tyres to slicks. But I love this. Outside wise, it looks absolutely brilliant. I'm happy with the colour. I'm happy with everything about it. Let's jump in. Obviously, my Jaguar F-Type seats. This interior is stunning. Again, well done for Lit bringing all of this in. But let's get this one started and see what it sounds like. Very nice grumble from that V10 Porsche engine. We'll keep that one quiet. And that's how a top end of a Lamborghini should sound. That sounds amazing. Let's get it on the dyno and see how much horsepower with the performance parts this will pump out. So here we are at the dyno, 612 starting horsepower from the Lamborghini Huracán with the V10 double overhead cam engine. With the performance parts, what did we squeeze out of it? An additional 403 horsepower, 66%, pitting our total at just over 1,000 at 1,015. Some good numbers on the horsepower, but what's it like in the kilometers per hour going down the track? Let's head over and find out. Here we are then at the track with our over 1,000 horsepower Huracán. Let's go. Let's see what speed we can get out from this machine before the end of the runway. I mean, we're accelerating very fast. We're already coming up on the 300 kilometers an hour. We're already in 6th gear going into 7th. That's doing all right. It's still climbing. Can we get higher? I'd like to get 350, maybe higher. I'd like to get a lot higher from a Lamborghini, but there we go. Come on, Huracán, you can do it. That definitely ticked up to 354, so that is what I'm sticking with. 354 kilometers an hour from the Huracán. So then, 354 kilometers an hour was not the greatest from the Lamborghini Huracán. Please let me know in the comments if I've done something wrong. Could have made this a bit faster in the dyno. I chucked it up to 9 gears. I didn't mess with the ratio. I just sort of made it a nice curve in there, straightening out towards the end, but still couldn't get that top end power I was looking for. So yeah, so if I've done something wrong, someone has got a better idea to get more speed out of a Huracán. Not that I'm keeping this one, I'm going to sell it. But for next time, it would just be nice for me to know if you know. So cool. Let me know in the comments below. Also, while you're there, let me know what you think. I absolutely love this Huracán. It is a beautiful, it's metallic green with its black and green rims. And that engine bay, as we spoke about earlier, just looks absolutely insane. I love it. Anyway, some facts and figures about this lovely Lamborghini Huracán. I wish I was keeping it, but I am not. It obviously is the Liberty Walk edition with 101,000 kilometers on it. We squeezed a load more horsepower, pitting it just over 1,000 with the performance parts and the tuning. And we bought the car for 102,912, and I spent 58,547 today on parts and painting, pitting our total spend to 161,459, with a sale price of 271,537, leaves our profit at 110,078 in-game dollars, which is incredible. Very good sale price on this lovely Lamborghini Huracán. It is time to say goodbye though. Goodbye, Huracán. I love you. That was a lot of fun. I wish I was keeping you, but I'm not. But up next, we have this retro Ferrari, modded in by Payne, or as he's known on Steam, at Deadbob777. Let's have a look. This is the Ferrari 250 GT Berlinetta SWB, the Competition version. This thing is insane. It's only got a nice 6 double overhead cam engine with 274 starting horsepower, but this is a classic racing Ferrari. As you can see, I bought this in this condition for 153,000. Still very good money. Look at the profit on that already, with absolutely nothing done to it. The engine is not missing, it's in there. It's very small in there, hidden at the bottom. I'm assuming there's probably an engine cover, because there are a lot of mod options for this one. I'm already on the screen, ready to go. All the interior you can change, which I absolutely love. I'm looking forward to playing around with these. Side exhaust, right side, left side, black tips, all of that. Body trim, let's see, engine cover, that's what I'm looking for. That's going to make the engine look a lot better than it does right now. But we've got a lot to play with in this one for next time, so you will look at it all. There's loads of it. So you will have to tune in next time to find out what we do with this one, how we do it, and how it ends up. But it is looking insane. I love this car. But thank you all very much for watching for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.